Welcome to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including CNN's moving out of their iconic Atlanta headquarters into cheaper facilities. We'll tell you why they're doing that and everything you need to know. T-Mobile is rolling out fiber home internet to 2 new markets. Now, you probably know T-Mobile offers 5G home internet. Did you know they offer fiber home internet too? We'll break down everything about that. And Spectrum plans to increase the speed for all internet customers, but they're going to have to slow down the rollout because of money issues. We'll tell you this about this story and a whole lot more. And at the end of this video, answer some of your questions in today's video. So with that said, check out the show notes, and in the first pinned comment, I'll put a link to each story I talk about there so you can read them for yourself. If you're new here, do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow, hopefully helping you break free from the high cost of TV, but still watch the shows you enjoy. All right, CNN has been in their CNN Center now for about 35 years. It's their iconic downtown Atlanta location. No more. Now, they announced earlier this year that they were moving out of it, but as of yesterday was the first day all broadcasts are no longer happening there. They moved out their CNN daytime news programming. Even though it was recorded in New York, it was produced and managed out of the old headquarters in Atlanta. Now that's moved into other Time Warner buildings that are owned in Atlanta. So they're still in Atlanta. They're just in smaller, cheaper space, consolidating their offices. This comes as CNN has been hit very hard by the ever-growing world of cord cutting. A few years ago, they shut down CNN Airport also to deal with the fact that the way people travel is different now. So we'll keep a close eye on this. CNN has a big plan to kind of reinvent themselves, re-energize the channel. We'll see if it comes out, but part of that also includes cost-cutting measures like moving out of their CNN Center headquarters in Atlanta. It's kind of an end of an era. It was such a huge, iconic location, and now to not have it there is kind of weird. All right, T-Mobile is rolling out fiber to 2 new states, including Minnesota and Florida. A couple cities in these areas are getting T-Mobile Fiber. Now, T-Mobile has had 5G home internet and has been adding a lot of customers to that, but they also have a fiber company that they've been slowly building out. They bought it. It was, I believe, in just Denver at the time they bought it. Somebody let me know if I'm wrong on that. But then they've slowly been rolling it out to more and more cities. Now, we have a full list of all the cities down there, but it starts at $55 a month for 500 down, which is a pretty good speed, and they have plans always up to 1 gigabytes, and they say it comes with a free Wi-Fi 6 router with your service and 24/7 technical support. Not a bad price for fiber at that speed. Now, yeah, there are cheaper options, but often they're a little bit slower, but pricing on internet, it really varies wildly depending where you live. So let me know, but $55 for 500 down is a pretty good speed, and for most cord cutters, they'll stream all the video you want. Speaking of internet speed, in our next story, Spectrum has announced plans to upgrade all their customers, even their rural customers, to symmetrical gigabit internet service. Now, originally this was supposed to be done in 2025. Now they're talking about delaying it to 2026 to slow out the rollout as they need the money for other projects. Spectrum's been struggling to deal with the growth of cord cutting, and one of their new efforts is to start offering streaming players called the Xumo streaming player. This is much like a Roku. It's a streaming player with a bunch of apps on it and their own cable device and Xumo built into it, kind of how many companies like Amazon promotes their stuff. This device promotes Spectrum stuff. Well, they want to buy a ton of these to give them to their customers, and they want to play around the money, move some money from this internet project over to that project and others to help fund them. And with that, they will continue to roll out internet throughout this year and next year. They'll just do it at a slightly slower pace. But good news, if you are a Spectrum internet customer, you're going to see, if you haven't already, many areas have already been upgraded, faster symmetrical gigabit internet there. And speaking of that device, the Xumo Play Box, Roger has a great breakdown of Comcast and Spectrum. This is a joint effort between the two. If you've been interested in learning more about their strategy on this, exactly what Comcast and Spectrum are doing, getting into streaming, check out his post. I'll put a link to it down below. I'm not going to go into too much depth on it here. I think you should check out his post if you want to learn more about that. All right, deal of the day. Apple AirPods 2 Pros, the 2nd generation model, are on sale right now for $199. This is down from the $249, excuse me, I believe they are typically at. It's It's a really good deal. Check out the show notes down below. I'll put a link there. Deal of the day, Apple AirPod 2s at $199.99 as part of Amazon's early Black Friday sale. A lot of deals for the early Black Friday. Check out Core Cars News. Click on the deal tab. Find tons of deals right there. All right, SpaceX already announced next year they're going to try to launch a mission. It works out to be on average every 2.5 days. Well, now SpaceX has in this month, or this weekend, launched their 50th mission that put 22 satellites into space. SpaceX now has over 5,000 active Starlink satellites in space, and they hope to put a whole lot more. Now they're going to significantly ramp up the speed of these, even going on throughout the rest of this year to get more satellites into space. And next year they're going to really ramp up the speed of launches here as they work towards getting the new larger rockets up and approved. We'll see how that all works out. But if you live in a rural area, good news, as more and more of these satellites come online, the faster speeds you have, the more ability to handle higher customer loads, which during peak times will give you faster speed. I know a lot of people are like, well, I live in a city with fiber and cable. Why would I get Starlink? Well, not everybody does. And for people who don't, this is a really good option. All right, Apple is reportedly working to revamp the Apple TV Plus app. This new app will consolidate more and more content from the Apple home screen, search different applications, movies and stuff into the Apple TV app on the Apple TV and other devices to make it a more of a one-stop shop, according to a report originally reported by Bloomberg. This will be coming in the December iOS update for the Apple TV, or tvOS, I should call that update. If you're an Apple TV user, just be on the lookout. If you open up your Apple TV and you're suddenly like, where's my library? Where's this feature? Where's that feature? It's probably been moved into the Apple TV app as Apple works to develop more and more content into that to make that the one-stop shop for everything they have to offer with it. And speaking of T-Mobile, they are putting some more security measures in place to stop data breaches. T-Mobile, both them and third-party companies that work with them, have suffered several major data breaches in recent years. And now they are putting in multiple new features here to stop hackers from getting in, to make it more difficult, including using key passes. So you need like a USB stick to plug into the computer, a physical key to unlock your accounts for employees. But more importantly here, T-Mobile is also going to be doing widespread training of their employees to identify social engineering that may compromise their system. Look for this to become more and more common. Social engineering data breaches are wildly popular and profitable for hackers, and we're going to probably see more and more of that in the years and months to come. T-Mobile is investing heavily to make their network more secure. We'll see how that all plays out. But for now, check that out. They're calling this effort to improve their security Cyberfest. And over the next month or so, they're going to be trying to train all their employees on improved ways to keep their systems safe. So check that out. And this comes from a T-Mobile employee who posted an image of their plans to make their system more safe on Reddit. So gotta love that. I have to love when employees do that. All right, let's dive into the question of the day. So every video like this, I answer a question of the day. If you have a question you want me to cover, leave me a comment on this video and just start off with something like a question for Luke. So I know it's a question that you want me to answer here. This one comes out here. It says, question for Luke. The cost of streaming services keep going up. Do you think there will be a hard cutoff where subscribers will say enough is enough and cancel them? I think we're already seeing that. So pre-2020, we saw on average 3 to 4 streaming services per American cord cutter. Because of 2020 and everything that happened there and on, Americans are streaming more, and that kind of crawled up almost as high as 5 on average streaming services per cord cutter. We're starting to see that number go down. We're starting to see cord cutters switch to cheaper ad-supported streaming services and more. But the reality is content's more expensive. I was reading some posts that shows that used to be $1 million an episode are now multi-million-dollar episodes or $100 million episodes. Are just driving up the cost. Expectations of content are higher, expectations of special effects are higher, just expectations overall. Plus inflation in general. A lot of movies run on fuel, food, and the like. A lot of that stuff is much more expensive and driving up the cost. Wood to build sets. I was at a local community theater here that I help, and they were talking about how the cost of wood to build their sets has tripled since before 2020. And that's made the operation of their plays significantly more expensive because they go through a good amount of wood building all the sets. Well, it's the same thing with movies. So that's why you see both cable and streaming going up, amongst other issues. But I do predict that what we're going to see is more and more people go into fewer and fewer paid services, go into more ad-supported services that are cheaper. We'll have to wait and see. Do I think there's a hard break? No, because everybody's different. It's always amazing me. Some people just want everything. Some people want nothing. Some people are happy with an antenna and an ad-supported streaming service. Other people need 5 streaming services because you're a house of 10 people who all have different interests. Maybe you live alone and 2 are all you need. It really depends on you. But I do think overall Americans are reevaluating, taking a look at those free ad-supported services, those cheaper ad-supported plans, and more. Let me know, have you reevaluated what you're spending? Have you cut back on the number of streaming services you have? Are you out there looking for cheaper options? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll be back tomorrow with another video.